$1 billion. That's right. This morning, I sent off a tweet and I basically said, day one of making $1 billion. And it basically says, launch ChatGPT Work and ship until my max out resets. So this is the tweet I posted. And people thought I was just playing. And at the beginning, I initially thought I was, but I realized that in the last 48 hours of Codex and ChatGPT, it's been crazy. Like they've been resetting like insane amounts, and we got to check it out first here on the stream ourselves. And as of now, this whole stream is not necessarily about the limits, but just these people are just making it so easy for us to really just get out there and start building as fast as possible. So it made me think, I've never made $1 billion yet. And I feel like I've made the decision and I'm going to be on my way to it. I realized that if I set a bar of saying I want to make 10K a month, it's not as exciting to me because that can happen really quickly in like a matter of days at the stock market or something happens, right? I've spent a lot of my years grinding out, in a FANG for over 12 years, like at Apple. And that has like earned me enough to be kind of where I'm at right now, where I can do whatever I want. And I just wanted to make this live stream to be really real with y'all and connect with everyone else and just put this out there to share my journey. I think there's other people who want to level themselves up. And as I'm leveling myself up, you can watch and also join in on this journey. But I'm also planning to reach out to others who have done this before. Because I've never done it before, it's going to be like, there's a lot of information that's out there that I can start to leverage. And so there is a playbook that I've started to really kind of run by, and I feel like I resonate a lot with it. And it actually comes from Mark Pincus. I just heard him on a podcast, and he talks about this book called Life at the Speed of Play. So this guy is very similar to me in the terms that he has, basically, I don't know, some type of creative juice that he has like with me running. And sort of like we have this like ADHD type of energy. We're always trying and testing new things. And in the podcast, I thought it was really fascinating because he talked about the whole concept of just trying stuff out and trying different things as much as possible. And so I actually bought his book, which is, right here, it's called Life at the Speed of Play. And actually, I was blown away by the very beginning of this whole thing because of the way that it kind of starts out. Let me see if I can kind of read to you like the one of the highlights here. And I thought was really a question. He says, the first question is, what game are you playing? Is about clarity of vision and strategic positioning. Are you competing in mobile gaming or enterprise SaaS? Are you building for Gen Z on TikTok or professionals on LinkedIn? There's too many founders think that they're playing one game and they're actually playing another. Or worse, they're trying to play multiple games simultaneously without focusing their resources to win on any one of them. And so I'm very guilty of that because I like to hop around on different live streams and try different stuff out. And because I don't work for a company anymore, I'm working for myself. So it's so easy to build products. And I'm kind of in the same conundrum of like, what's going to be the thing that really takes off? And it just so happens that people I know are all focused on B2B SaaSes, right? So what's a business going to sell to another business? Be in that type of thing. And also what people tend to do these days is just focus on, can I raise VC money and become the next billionaire or whatever and whatnot. And what I find fascinating about what Pincus is saying is, and especially in this podcast here, is that there's actually another huge ocean around consumer space that people aren't really talking about or going after publicly because you can now build these products pretty fast with AI, but in the consumer space, a lot of VCs are looking for that next like $1 trillion opportunity, and they want you to go after those things. For example, stuff in law, stuff in medicine, and so forth. But I don't have those backgrounds, and I feel like as a person who likes consumer things and consumer products, I think I can start to launch products and then get them out there as fast as possible. And I've just been super inspired by this like way of thinking. And basically this guy has launched 10 different companies. 8 of them have been successful. And there's obviously something that's going on in his formula. And I feel like it's in this book. And I'm going to continue to read this because I just started the book today. And it's been super inspiring. And I'm just starting this live stream so I could put this out there because there's a couple of clocks that are currently running and concurrently, right? So there's OpenAI has actually temporarily lifted the 5-hour limit. So what that means for us as builders is that we can just keep building. And then I have 3 resets left. So for a $200 Pro plan, I can just keep hitting it until I hit the whole weekly limit. They've also been generous and reset everything again. And I can use the Soul model to keep going. On top of that, I already have a $200 a month plan with Fable, and they've also extended that out, I think, for another week as well, so that I can use that high intelligence model. And if there is a time to kind of play and experiment and ship software, 2 days ago when I was trying Soul Live, I just did one prompt and it built a full game multiplayer, just waiting for, in one prompt. Even though my limits were hit, I hit /goal and it kept going inside of Codex, which was super crazy, right? So I could take that and put it in front of people and try stuff out. I also built an app for the Canoe Club at the same time with /goal, and that built out the full iOS app. And so now I realize that, okay, I need to focus on getting this stuff out there to people, getting that feedback loop, and kind of growing that type of thing. And what that looks like is what we're going to be discovering here on this stream and many streams going forward. And this is kind of that journey that I'm sort of launching into. So I think the biggest lesson, if you were to just tune in so far, is like, what is the thing that you should get into? And don't be afraid of getting into stuff that other people really aren't talking about or they're overlooking, because this whole field is just being rewritten in real time. So I want to catch up a little bit with the comments, because I know a lot of people are kind of maybe have some other stuff to say, and I kind of want to catch up with what y'all are picking up in right now. So it says, it's getting warmer. B2B SaaS compute is the new capital. You see Facebook selling compute, push their price 15% plus the IPO. Yeah, so that type of environment is super busy right now. But if these guys go to $1 trillion, if you get 1 out of 1 trillion, like if you just take a small market share as an individual, why can't you get 1%, 1% of that? And why can't you get $1 billion? You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that's in there. So what is the command code thing? Abal saw a couple times. Command code? I don't know what specific thing. I'm trying to break into the niche consumer space for B2C. Yeah, get it out there, start trying and start to make those contacts. I think more than ever is just trying to get groups of people together to, if you know someone who's in. So I'm starting a community. I already have this community going. It's called Start My AI. If you haven't seen it, it's currently in the description below. So rfer.me/startmyai. And that will basically take you to the community here that you can just join for free. And I'm encouraging people to join in, and I want to make it free so that we can share on this mission together and share resources. And this is probably going to be a great way for people to network, because eventually I want to do some in-person events where we can all really start, vibing out and jamming and so forth. And speaking of in-person events, if you're around in Hawaii for Hawaii Tech Week, the first week of September, I'm going to be hosting an event at the Entrepreneur Sandbox. And so be on the lookout for some links around that. The folks who get accepted will be able to get some cursor credits as well to build with me live. So this is going to be a really fun little adventure game, not adventure game, but like a really fun event for those who are hosting. So big shout outs to Cursor for giving the credits for that event. I think it's really, really cool that they're able to do that. Also shout outs to Matt from Poland. I want to be a thousandaire. Bro, aim bigger, bro. Don't aim so small, bro. You got to aim way, way bigger, Hello from Thailand as well. Billy is a lot, bro. Yeah, a Billy, bro. It's like, bro, manifesting, it's not even manifesting, tech friend. It's already happened. You're just watching this stuff going in reverse. You know what I mean? Like, all we're doing is just watching this unfold in front of us. It's already here, bro. We're already wealthy. You know what I mean? I love everyone's sentiments like lock in. Yeah, no, that's what's up. I'm going to attempt to break into the Shopify app space and know how well it works out. See, this is perfect stuff. There's Shopify, there's like Craigslist. Imagine if you have like a modern version of Craigslist or eBay, or like do stuff like, for me, I could do stuff in streaming. Previously, venture companies have funded those things and they fell apart. And a lot of times when a lot of money gets injected, unless it's really clear that you and a competitor have something and you just need more money, it's kind of wild. And even then, you just don't know. It's kind of a gamble. But if you're personally funded and you have income from your customers already paying you, that income stream can just be continued to roll into each other. And that's kind of where I'm looking to continue to grow. So it's I've got 6 months to start my own business before getting made redundant, having issues focusing and trying to figure out the problem I'm trying to solve. Great to hear I'm not alone. I'm telling you, I think the biggest thing for me is just going to be talking to users, getting out there, getting in front of them, continue to build and grow and grow. And I think a bigger part of it is actually going to be the content story. So what we're doing here live and building community is also going to be important. And I encourage all of you to do the same. Like start to record yourself building stuff, sharing what you know, trying to connect with community members, and just do what you need to do, right? What a funny title. Yeah, no, it's actually real. I think it sounds funny in retrospect, but I think it's going to be probably like the greatest thing kind of looking back at this whole journey, saying that this is really kind of what happened. As Chamath has said, SaaS sales is hard, but he loves it. Yeah, I think this is going to shape me to be a better human through this experience. And it's actually a viable, large goal to do. And I don't see a reason why I should get in my own way. So I think the next lesson here that I want to talk about is more about how do I shift my identity now? Because I grew up as a person who didn't even have an engineering background, and somehow I got into Apple, right? And then from there, I went on this legendary run for 12 years, and billions of devices have stuff that I've touched on, So I think it's insane that at that time, growing up with nothing and trying to go through school and failing a lot, that I somehow had this belief that I can do anything that I wanted to, and stuff happened. And I think after COVID and after getting really, really sick, I realize now that I can still do the same. I don't have to set my own limitations. I don't have to stand by this identity saying, oh yeah, I'm going to raise money now, and my story is because I worked at Apple. I kind of want to just throw everything out. And I think a better time to do that is now, especially in this space, because I see a lot of engineers who have this identity saying, oh, I want to stick to my Vim. I want to stick to my terminal and build my own apps and do whatever I want to do in my own way. It's you can do that. That's cool. But I think I'm now kind of ascending to a whole different way of doing business and using these AI tooling and everything we can in our in my space, and people who are around me and people who know people. And I want to get introduced to them so that we can have these conversations. And so one of those first ways to do that, that's pretty much really low cost. It cost me $20 or something, right? To buy this book from a guy who's well over probably a billionaire, right? So he's been able to, and he's early. Mark Zuckerberg was one of the first. Mark Zuckerberg went into this guy's office and said, "Hey, can you fund my company called Facebook?" Or at the time when it was getting started, right? And that's how far back this guy goes, and he has so much history in Silicon Valley. And I think he talks about in this book is how to isolate your winning instincts from your losing ideas, how to turn insights into reality using the proven better new framework, and how to get people to do the right thing when you're not in the room, and how to apply these principles in a world that is being reshaped by new technologies, aka AI. It's clear AI alone will reshape our world, but robotics, let me just remove this over here. Sorry, my bad. I just realized I read the whole thing. Okay. So these are the things that he talks about here. This is the book is an innovation in itself that he's talking about. And then he's talking about how these principles will be applied in the book. So this is kind of where, he came up with Farmville, Cityville, and other stuff as well. And he worked, founded Zynga, and huge praises from all these folks, right? I think of a person people will say, can I have a coffee chat with you? But a lot of these really wealthy people, basically, they didn't have a playbook. They just kind of did their thing and they learned along the way. So they're just distilled it down and sharing it back with us. So I'm taking this time to use this type of book to grow. And so I really don't know exactly, where everything is going, but I just know that I kind of have to follow the stuff that's in this book. So the first question we asked is just about what's my strategic positioning and what are we going to be doing? And the second question goes deeper is your theory of game is basically the mental model of how success happens in a given domain. And so what are the dynamics that underlie it? And what does everyone else playing in this arena believe it might be wrong? And how can you use that to create a compelling and sustainable advantage? A theory of the game is your hypothesis about cause and effect, timing, and sequencing. It makes the difference between randomly trying things and having a strategic framework that guides your decisions. So it says the best frameworks don't just have a theory, they can articulate it, test it, and refine it based on what they learn. So this is going to be really key for me to really take in as a lesson, is just to try to distill down what is this type of approach in a framework model that can be, applied and kind of keep learning as a guardrails for me to basically ascend to the way that this guy just ships software ever since he was, really young. So when you have an explicit theory of game, you can build a company around it. It creates a framework for win conditions, metrics for progress towards success, and decomposition of goals and work progress. So like, if this isn't the sauce for how to do this, I think this is insane. And the value in this book, just in this first like couple of pages, is kind of insane too, right? So when the rules are changing and when new capabilities emerge, when distribution channels evolve, these are the moments when a strong theory of game matters most. So let me break this down for you, just that sentence real quick. What he's saying, and what I'm getting from this, is that the game is changing. AI is changing the game. The people's identities for how they, behave as software engineers or whatever they are. Like, I've been proving this over the last 3 years, and I just haven't really been applying it myself to this whole game theory. And I just feel like it's been sitting in front of me the whole time. I knew these models had been capable of doing stuff and I kind of have these benchmarks now. So last year, 12 days before Christmas, 7 months ago, it took me 12 days to make a soccer game that's multiplayer and everything. Now I can do that just basically in one prompt with Fable or with Soul. And it just keeps going until it's done. And then 2 days ago, we made 2 apps live in parallel using the same model inside of basically ChatGPT Work / Codex. And it met all the requirements with my whole spec. And the game is basically changing, right? So everything is changing, even the distribution channels. So I can turn on this microphone, I can live stream, I could talk with you, I can build an audience, I can build community. You can build community as well. There have been numerous amounts of people who have just turned on the camera, showing what they're building, and they're making lots of money. And it's not that it's the fact of making lots of money, it's just that they're actually delivering value to a community and they're getting outsized rewards because guess what? Because you're not VC funded, you're funded by the people. And if they don't give you money, then you're kind of trying to figure out what problems you're trying to solve. And those problems really kind of start from how you like what problems you have and putting that out there and just kind of receiving that feedback. So that's kind of where like now I'm coming from. And it's also this distribution channel evolving is kind of like a really big deal in a concept. And this is kind of why I also highlighted in this book, right? So operating in uncertainty is precisely when a theory serves as your compass. It doesn't tell you exactly where to go, but it orients you. It helps you interpret ambiguous goals, make decisions with incomplete information, and recognize patterns in chaos. So this is probably the more important part, is this like this central theory of like, okay, my boat is headed north. I see the sun go this way a lot, so I'm going to just follow it this way. So every time I'm kind of aligned with the sun. And, so like while there is waves and it takes you off and the next day you see the sun rising, it's behind you. You're like, okay, I got to reorient my boat and kind of go this way. So this is kind of what you're sort of starting to develop as an intuition so that you can kind of navigate the chaos that's going to be in front of us. Because a lot of stuff is going to keep changing, but as long as you're kind of understanding the game theory here and then like what has actually changed as far as these channels, you can then have that outsized advantage while people are trying to reposition what they're all doing, right? So like imagine you reposition your boat, but having to reposition 1,000 boats at the same time. That's a big corporation and they can't move as fast as you as an individual. So the key is understanding the theory you must be living something you're fully invested in learning from, adapting, and iterating on. And we're living through perhaps the most significant platform shift in computing history. And we're living through perhaps the most significant platform shift in computing history. This is ridiculous. And this is actually very true. And we're seeing it in front of us. And now we're going to take action with this. And this is why I feel like there's no reason. There's like absolutely no reason to aim low, right? You have to aim really big. And the worst part is if you fail, you just keep failing on your way upwards. Fail up. That's all you do. You don't fail down, you fail up, right? You meet more people, you get those lessons, you get those scars, you take that, and then you just keep going, and you just keep going, and you keep going. And so this is my promise to those who are watching. This is like literally the first live stream kicking this whole thing off. It sounds funny. It sounds like a dream. It sounds whatever. It sounds like manifesting, woo-woo, whatever. But it's going to be real. It's going to be hilarious to just look back and be like, wow, this is really crazy. And I think once you make up your mind and you just say, this is just going to happen, Why wouldn't there be other ways, right? You can put it down if you don't believe it yourself, because that's on you. I'm already on the way. So the question becomes, do you know what to build, how to test it, and when to kill it? So this is probably the most important lesson that I picked up from this book right now, is just this speed. And this is why I'm really excited to start live streaming, is basically the strategy is going to be figuring out, what are we going to build? How are we going to test it? And then how do we know we have to kill it, right? And then move on to the next thing. So having a strategy to rapidly test ideas, identify the promising ones, and then ruthlessly eliminate the rest isn't just valuable, it's essential. And that's exactly what this book gives you. Read it, learn the rules, develop your theory, get in the game. Get in the game. So my question to you is, where are you? Where are you at in this whole journey? Are you ready to get in the game? I think it's time. There's no reason why you can't, it doesn't matter what your background is. Just take that motivation, whatever you need to do, start getting in the game. You have a perspective that I don't have. You have a perspective that even your brother doesn't have, even any twin something, because you're seeing the world in a very different way. You can use that to your advantage, and that's what we're planning to do here. And if you want to join my free school community, this is what I got going on right now. I have a bunch of other people who are joining. It's completely free. rfer.me/startmyai. I want to build with this, and I'll be sharing basically as I go, from skills that I'm building to whatever I'm doing. This marks, day one of us kicking this off. And I'm going to be exploring these different ideas of basically how we can, get in the game, right? Develop our theory and get in this game, because there's no reason why we shouldn't be in this game. And I feel like if you're watching this, and if you even made it this far, I feel like you're in the game, you want to get in the game, you've been in this, and you're probably having the same realizations as me, like, wait, I don't want to be the person who's watching other people be successful and leave the harbor without me. I want to get in this game, and this is what I'm trying to do right now. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I just kind of want to catch up a little bit on the comments, because I don't know, I have a really hard time figuring out what to build that would generate revenue. So, just go do some quick research on ChatGPT, saying of the things that I'm building right now, what are the things that are going to generate revenue? I'm trying to enter the consumer space, and I'm trying to figure out, what is the problem that you're solving, and who are the problems that you're helping, even local people out right now. So I have a SaaS, I'll DM for sure. Yeah. I'm locked in for a month starting tomorrow, bro. Don't start tomorrow, bro. Start yesterday. Start immediately, whether it's buying the book and starting to read the audiobook, whether it's you yapping into the notes app, saying everything that you want to work on right now that you have an idea for, so that you can then send that off. As soon as you stop on a walk, hit send to Fable 5 Max, have it go do the research for you, saying, I'm trying to make, a really successful company that, is in the consumer space, and I want to do whatever. And then I have all these ideas. I've been trying these things out. Go research it for me. That's it. The AI will do the work for you while you then go hang out with your family or do whatever you're doing. And you wake up the next morning, you read it. It's like a book. You're like, okay, cool. This is my roadmap for the next step. This is what I'm going to do. So have I tried LinkedIn sales? I have not. I got a free month. Yeah, you could try it. If that's where your customers are, definitely do that. I need to know when to kill a project. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out too. When do I kill it? Who I should go after? What is the whole proposition? So I'm 35 West Coast, counter position against Lordco and other auto players here in Canada. Help scale up CFOs working alongside founders, scaling 1 million to 50 million to 100 million and well beyond. Let's go. Yeah, keep it running, man. I started 2 businesses before 20 years old. Make sure you start the right business. Figure out something people need and not a lot of people do. I think there's a lot of things that we can try too, because I feel like the markets are expanding, and then people in AI businesses. So I'll give you a quick example right now. So I'll share with you my first of many ideas that I have going. So I'm actually literally helping my brother right now lose a bunch of weight. So he's going from 400 pounds, and he's already at 397 from the last almost 10 days of us starting this whole goal, right? He's down 6.3 pounds, and he still has quite a bit of ways to go, right? And we've been I'm sharing all the stuff that I've learned in the last 3 months over like nutrition and just keeping things really simple. Like, what is our calorie goal? So, I mean, this is a plan that I literally generated with him using an OpenClaw, right? So I used OpenClaw because I've been using it myself to take pictures of food, and then it logs everything, right? And so I established what the baseline calories we need to eat to lose weight for him, and then what the protein is, right? And then how we're going to do the other stuff here. And so because he's type 2 diabetes, we did a little bit of extra research for that type of thing. And then this thing is basically what keeps track of like the meals he wants to eat. And then the kitchen part is like what we need to go buy at Costco. That's the only thing. What's cool about this is this also works on mobile. So you can have all these different tabs here at the bottom that will take you to like the today view, and you see this on mobile as well. So on mobile, you can kind of see as soon as he types into his OpenClaw, I ate this much whatever, or ate this meal, it will automatically update the website that's already deployed and give him basically a dashboard. So he can already see for food for breakfast, this is what he ate at the time. Keeps track of his activities for the outdoor morning walk, like where it was, like all this information is coming from his Apple Watch, which is kind of crazy. And so I just realized, wait, hold up. That's a product that I can get in front of more people. So why don't I just turn that into an official product and then maybe onboard some people by hand, the first 10 users, and just see what happens, right? Like, here's an OpenClaw. I'll set it up securely in a server or something like that, and keep everything isolated so that way their data's on their own, and just set up the system and just get feedback and see where this goes. This can turn into a much bigger product where I can like do some things, but I don't want to overcomplicate it. So like that's one example of something that I didn't think was a lot of value, but I'm realizing is pretty quite a bit of value. And I wanted to figure out, okay, my SaaS product is going to be like a voice agent that's going to do this, and then it's going to connect to other things and have all these connectors and do all these different pieces. I was like, bro, that's overcomplicating it. I got to go back to the roots. Like, what's already giving my brother a lot of value? He just takes a picture of the food and does the whole thing. It's already on there. It's like, oh yeah, okay. So reading this book really kind of got me into that type of thinking. And so if y'all also want to see that, we're going to start a vlog called The Long Game. So we're called The Long Game Bros. And so this whole journey for my brother, he's going to go from 404 pounds to 220 and eventually be around like 200 pounds or less. It's going to be in a crazy, I've already started a vlog. We've been recording this last week and I'm about to edit it up and put it on here. So we're going to have a whole vlog that you can go ahead and check out. And I would definitely check it out here. It's called The Long Game Bros. And so feel free to subscribe because we're going to start to do that. And we'll also have some live streams. The focus there is going to be more on like us talking about the mindset, like what we're doing with food, like how I'm using, it's not going to focus on the building of the app and the technology stuff. It's going to be more about like, what is John doing day to day? What am I doing? Because on my goal, I'm also going down to 10% body fat because I've never seen my abs before. So part of the whole, making it to $1 billion is also going to have like a healthy body. And so how am I going to achieve that? How's this going to roll into it? You're going to see it just all laid out here live. And this is why I'm super excited about this whole series. And this is just a really crazy way of, putting everything that I'm doing in my life together and just kind of putting it out there live. And you're going to see the progress live, and you can participate with others who are on the same mindset. And I feel like that's more important, is that we're all kind of on that same wavelength, trying stuff out there. And you never know what happens. I mean, I've connected two people or I've connected many people together through my network, right? So there's a guy who's doing some stuff in law. There's another guy who's crazy at AI building. I connect them two together. Boom, they're creating the next $1 billion SaaS, just like that. It happens. And I think that's the energy that we're riding with right now. And I feel like we can kind of share and do this together. So that's the long game a little bit. So let me catch up a little bit on the comments before I kind of share a little bit more about some of my other product ideas. And I really don't know about the monetization story, and that's what I'm going to try to research. But that'll be kind of where we're at. So I have enough experience and I have confidence I could build almost anything, but coming up with ideas is hard. Yeah, I think it's just, like I said, I started with a problem in my space, right? So my own health challenges, and then my brother, because he's tried a lot of things. He's even tried medications. And this is the thing that's kind of making it stick, because now he's able to see his food and then reorganize the food he can eat, because he can now understand, oh, that plate is not really going to give me all the nutrients I want. It's going to make me go over budget. Yesterday we were out and Waikiki, and he's like, oh, I want to go to Marugami Udon. And he said, well, if I eat one of those ramen bowls, then like I throw away all these tokens like I've been saving up because I've not been eating. So then I will bounce back to my original weight that I just started from just after a day or two of eating like, really bad. I was like, yeah, man, it's exactly, you're getting it, right? So he's able to take those learnings and kind of apply them. And I would just start small and then go bigger. It doesn't, I don't know. I feel like stuff will get revealed, and I'll kind of learn on my own. What's your view on IaaS business, especially when the plan is to scale to $1 billion? So right now, I've never done it before, right? So I'm not saying that I know how to do it. I'm not going to say like, oh my God, I've worked at a company who went from like, millions of dollars, tens of millions, that went to trillions of dollars, right? With Apple, they went over $1 trillion, but I wasn't me, right? That was many engineers, many people. That whole landscape is changing, and I'm going to read this book and kind of unravel the journey. So the first thing is just starting simply with a problem, a pain point. And everything that I've read with my pain points is like health, wealth, and relationships are kind of the best products that sell. And of those things, in health, because I'm on this health journey, I realized that there's a lot of value in just trying to distill and capture information. And because AI is now entering this space, it makes it so much easier to take a photo, and a vision model can really quickly get all that information of what's going on. And then another AI model can then hand that off. And if you give these goals to these models, then they can understand and start to do work for you, like update a dashboard and do various requests and things like that. That can actually help, to aid to us. Like a simplified goal. In this case, we're just basically updating a widget in the technical sense, but in the value that it brings is like seeing that update, not having to deal with the overhead, having your meals planned out, or having a shopping list planned out to hit Costco, becomes that reinforcing loop. And that's the first thing I'm going to try, because I kind of know a little bit of how that works. It's like, okay, this has been successful, and it's okay to have 10 people that I'm just onboarding by hand, setting up open clause or whatever it needs to do to get this going. So that's kind of, that's what's up. So big consulting hasn't been listening to meet long-standing unmet needs for these folks unless you make 500 mil per annum in revenues. Oh, I think you're talking about, yeah. That is neat. Maybe add when he has lost enough, he can begin exercising steadily. So he's also started with that as well, with walking and some of the weight training stuff. So that's kind of what we're up to right now. Yo, 1 billion, let's go. Bacon Overflow, man. That's my favorite handle, by the way. That's so far. Let's go. Yes. I really love this idea and the mission behind it. I lost 80 pounds on my health journey. Dang, that's amazing. And excited to follow you guys along. You guys got this. Yes. Yeah, 80 pounds is huge. It's like, it's life changing. I was around 280 pounds. So it was almost 300. And like my waist was big and everything like that. I'm right now, as of this morning, 193 pounds. So when I got here, I was around 201 pounds. So I've already lost a couple of pounds, actually quite a bit of pounds. 197? Yeah, 197. Wait, I think it's 197. Yeah, I weigh 197, not 193. So yeah, that's super exciting, and just keeping up the, how to keep things up and how to keep things going is going to be really important here. So how do you monetize this thing? I read your product or service should offer 10-fold benefit over current systems and paradigms. For my app, the dashboard thing. So the dashboard thing, I think that I'm kind of toying around with is just like a simple onboarding, like just asking people who are paying for services, whether they're paying for a coach, whether they're paying for nutrition plans, whether they're paying for anything else, like what value they're getting from it. My brother has just been showing people in the neighborhood his progress, and people are just interested. They're like, oh, that's a cool dashboard. So those are the people I'm just talking to and just seeing, hey, would you pay like $500 if I set one of these things up for you? And you can just ask it as many questions as you want for like 6 months, or send it over pictures of your photo and see what's up. So yeah, I don't know. I just hacked my way to low body fat with GLP-1s. Yeah, that's a way of doing it. There's a lot of people who are doing that. But the thing that I'm learning is that you have to keep muscle mass. So if you can keep muscle mass up and eat your proteins and keep, if you have, depending on your weight, like for me, if I eat 200 grams of proteins and like, for example, I was like really obese or something like that, I would have to like make sure I'm training still. The problem with GLP-1s is that you get full really fast. And the problem with eating lots of protein is that you feel full really fast. So they can be counteractive. You may not even get enough calories for the day, and your metabolism can slow down over the long term. But that's, you obviously have to talk to a doctor, and I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just speaking from experience, and my brother used to be on them too. So like, I think now you don't, like for me, I don't need a GLP-1, at this level, because like I get full so fast eating lots of protein and then choosing the right foods like kale, potatoes, and they make you feel full for a long time. It's just really awesome. So make a game that gives stats based on their weight loss journey. So the more they lose, the stronger they become in the game. Yeah, I thought about that, but I feel like right now, a lot of people who are on the like current journey may not need a game per se, and it may come to that later on, but I'm not really like, the most feedback that I've gotten so far for what we're doing is just seeing the ability to just take food, weigh things out a little bit, and then kind of see where people are in that first week to get those big wins. And I think once you have some of those wins, they kind of keep compounding. And I think being able to see where you're really at is kind of more important. It's like basically mindset here. So that's up. So an app which randomly connects you to another person, both competing for the same amount of push-ups, can do. The app detects. Yeah, I mean, social stuff is cool, but for me right now, I think the personal journey is more important. And a lot of this is all around mindset. So I don't know. Like, I really don't know yet. And I think I'm just trying to start sort of simple and not really overcomplicate it too much. But I mean, if you want to try that out, definitely do it. I feel like, I think we all can, everyone can copy everyone's ideas, but it's really just about the person who's like persevering and has that taste that can push through. It's going to be very, very helpful here. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with this type of thing. And I don't know, I just thought, why not come on here and kind of help with this? Because I feel like this is kind of where we're at with this whole long game thing. So if you haven't heard, the book is called Life at the Speed of Play. Mark Pincus. Go check it out, download it. I highly encourage you. I'm going through this book right now, and we're going to figure out how we can basically isolate our winning ideas, turn them into like a framework so that we can continue to evaluate through this crazy change of AI. And like, I'm working on this to be very successful, and as you are probably as well, and how to get people to do the right thing when you're not in the room, and how to apply these principles so that the world that's being shaped by new technologies. So yeah, that's Mark Pincus. And so what better time than when Thibaut's posting about like resetting ChatGPT limits, like all the time. Like, look at his posts in the last like couple of hours, right? It's insane because he's like, the last 48 hours has been intense. Like, they've been removing 5-hour usage limits. They rolled out changes to ChatGPT Soul for a more efficient across the board. They have 6 million active users. Claude is over here posting that they're extending limits through like July 19th for 50%, but they didn't do a reset. So if there's any sign that you have to go all in right now, it's literally the time. Like, if I don't want to miss this opportunity, and I feel like this has been my time, and I've just been seeing the whole world shift around me, and there's going to be so many outsized opportunities that people who used to be in the industry would say, no, that's a bad idea. And I'm just going to keep going after it because we have to build our distribution. We have, these tools that can prototype super fast. We can get ideas in front of people, and then we can just keep iterating faster than probably most people who are trying to raise and do other things as well. And I'm not going to be afraid of like people who are going after like VC money, because if they're entering the space with VC money, they probably have to grow at a faster or higher rate to do something else. And they have to aim for like the $1 trillion thing, where me aiming for the $1 billion thing is kind of just like kind of low key. It sounds funny saying this. It sounds so funny because you're like, wait, what's $1 million? And then like companies really wouldn't want to touch you back then in Silicon Valley if you're just aiming for the low millions. So as a solo person, there's no reason. Like, there's like some good examples like PDF.ai back in the day. So like back in the day, it was like only a couple of years ago. So the technology at then to parse PDFs really wasn't there. Like, language models will have such a hard time to do that. But this guy was able to do it just over, figuring stuff out. And I don't know exactly all of the techniques he used, but he was able to get all that information out into like Markdown now. But if you just used now like a Mistral model, you're able to get all this information. So here's a PDF, and this is what he gives you. Just it's the accurate PDF parsing, right? So you could tell this is vibe coded, still vibe coded, but this guy makes like $500,000 a month, I think, easy. At his height, he was making like 1.5 million or something ridiculous. But you can see the prices he's charging because people were using this for law, like this was early AI a couple years ago. I mean, so many people use this product. It's insane. And he's come up with all these different free tools and a bunch of good stuff as well. And so, I mean, there's a lot of products like this. I mean, even like the, I think it's is it Postbridge. So Jack Fritz is awesome. This guy was going to get bought out for like $1 million, I think. And then he said no, because he just wanted to have his own personal product and not be working for someone else and just kind of wanted to have his own freedom. And this guy's making a bunch of money and has tons of customers. And all he does is just made a program so that he can post on social media because he posts every day. And so he wanted to have it so he can post on multiple platforms and then just made this available to everyone else. It sounds dumb, right? Like, well, there's already stuff like this, like Opus Clips and all this other stuff, but he did it anyways. You know, he just listened to his heart. He knew what taste he wanted. He knew as a content creator what specific problems he was doing. He's not having to report to a corporation. And all these people have been using his platform to grow. And it's like, it's crazy. And it sounds kind of crazy. And like, even though there's other people in it, he's been doing this. And it's just amazing. He's a solo guy. He makes the money. He has like, he's good. And, you know, the other thing is like, we're not going to live and die by one company. So like one company earns me $10 million, you know, a year. And then the next company earns me like 100 million. And then I sell it to SpaceX or something for like, you know, $60 billion. That's cool. Like I exceeded my goal, right? So you don't know how the story is going to break out, but all the skills that I'm learning to get to that first sale, to the next sale, or whatever, it's just going to keep compounding. And this is kind of why I'm super excited about this goal. And I feel like we got to get on this right now. You know, like this is the time to build, even if it's already out there or something's out there. So I'm not encouraging you to say like, okay, go ahead and just copy this, you know, SaaS that you see that's very successful. It's going to be more about like you kind of doing a little bit of a deep dive on like, what is the problem that you're going to try to like spend a lot of time on? And because I'm spending a lot of time on health and because I'm kind of working towards this way, I feel like there's a lot of opportunity in this space because to be honest, every other person I see who's doing fitness, health, and relationships, or fitness and health, right? They're already very fit. They're either a doctor or they're a nutritionist. They're trying to sell you some type of supplement or some type of drug or something like that. And they make their money from like all these different ways. And no one has gone through the journey of losing weight like as brothers, right? Like as a family. Like there's none of that content even out there on YouTube, right? Like there's no one saying like, I'm basically from the same family tree. You know, this guy is going from 400. I'm going from like, 200, trying to dial it down to like 10% body fat, already having been big. Now I'm kind of teaching the lesson down to my younger brother. Like, it's just raw. It's real. It's like, I'm not trying to give my brother like hey, take this thing. Like everything we're going to be discovering is just going to be live and real. I think we need more of that. And I think there's a big moat around like that type of, discovery, I guess, per se, but also sharing that back because most people are too afraid to share until they've made it down to a certain level, right? So people that you see who are in the fitness industry, usually they're not posting at their largest level every single day, showing the whole progress of like ups and downs and failures and so forth. So I don't know. I'm pretty bullish on it, and I'm really excited about, the huge potential of where everything's going. So yeah, that's what's up. Let's see. Did I try GPT 5.6 Soul with Claude Code? I think Theo posted it saying it works much better with Claude Code, and Thibaut said something about it too. Yeah, I think I haven't tried it specifically because I use Cursor, and Cursor has a multi-agent orchestration, and that's basically how I use it. So I have a thing called Waves. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, you can define that if you want as part of one of those skills. So if you go to the free community right now, in here I have a thing called Wave Engineering. So many people have been using this wave engineering skill to like solve the craziest problems, fix bugs they haven't been fixing for years. And I made this because Fable was taken away from us. And what I saw Fable doing was some really amazing techniques. So I just went to work and did a bunch of research and found some other techniques that we can use in agentic engineering to basically help reduce entropy in problems, bring things down, spread things out in like this way that language models actually naturally work. And I did a full breakdown, like a full breakdown with a blog post and everything. And you can grab the skill here. And so the skill, and I have the blog post that kind of talks about it, but this is the skill that you can go check out. It's called Waves. I have it for Cursor. And so the Cursor one basically can spawn out with multiple agents and do the custom orchestration kind of like, and so yeah, I have the whole thing. And then if you want to read more about like the technicals of it, I have a whole like blog post that talks about like the theory behind it and kind of my discovery and kind of where this has really evolved and where it's coming from. And this is like kind of crazy as far as like all of the sauce that I just put out there for free so that every single AI lab can take this and not give me credit for it, but I don't care. I want to put this out there because I want to advance engineering, especially for agents so that people can benefit from it. So I talk about my experience with, like I was saying, with Fable and kind of what we're doing a little bit different here. This has since evolved even from this blog post, and I've added some more findings. And I actually post all my research as far as like all the papers that I've referenced in here and also inside the skills so the agents can then reference that if you want to kind of build on top of it as well. So take that as you may. This is like your sword for the future. And this is kind of what I plan to do here anyways. I mean, I used to be an engineer at Apple, but I'm kind of really changing my identity. I don't even want to say that anymore. I just want to say I'm a builder. I'm just headed towards this, massive hill to climb. And I think I'm taking all of the tools and techniques and everything I learned and applying those engineering ways of thinking for when it comes to those times where I need to get very technical in products and then really just kind of expand what that means for problem solving and decomposing those problems. So right now, the problem that I'm having is not the engineering side of things. It's more of like product building, marketing, acceptance. How do I know this is the right product to choose from of many things? And, referencing Mark Pincus and trying to learn from his book to help me kind of think through these things. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Even simple tools like PDF, I like a lot. Simple, right? It's kind of simple how these tools kind of come about. I've never stalked anyone so much on Twitter as much as Tebow, beginning to feel awkward. I mean, that's how you find out those rate resets, though. I have everything set up as well. I built the wave research skills for Grok. It's really crazy. Almost 200 parallel sub-agents. Bro, I got to see this. Please record a video. I want to see this in action. Because there is emergent behavior with my wave skill. We discovered live on stream. I think that's probably when you saw it, right? When you set up that wave skill inside of Grok 4.5, ooh, it cooks. Yeah, amazing. I'll read your books. So I'll show you the book right here. So the book is from Mark Pincus and it's called Life at the Speed of Play. Let me just go ahead and put this into the actual broadcast here so that way y'all can get this. So Life at the Speed of Play is this book right here. So just go ahead and click the link. You'll basically go here. You can pick it up on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I don't get any referral codes or anything like that. I'm just trying to give you the sauce because this is what I'm reading right now. And I saw him on a podcast with My First Million, and this is kind of really inspired. I was like, bro, this guy is just like me. He is ADHD, whole crazy. Like, I don't know, he might have dyslexia and stuff, but he has crazy creativity like me. He can see around the corners because he's just, really trying to see things for what they are. And he tends to be a person who's like sort of counterculture in general. And you just kind of need that type of thinking. And what I really appreciate about what he does is that he doesn't take what people say as like gospel who are near him, who are successful. He just says, yeah, but this is the thing that we're going to do. And he just like has this conviction that is just so calm, but also very much himself, but very playful. And I think this is kind of what I appreciate about it. And I think I'm like in this new era right now. And so this is my billionaire era. We are in the billionaire era. If you're watching this, that means you're in your billionaire era right now. This is it. Yeah, that's what's up. So started working on a Shopify. Oh yeah, that's right. This is crazy. Yes, I want to come back to YouTube with this week and I want to play with the tools. Live and real versus fake. And yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. So I think that's kind of where we're moving here. And that book, I'm going to keep reading here. I have the Kindle version up and Marcus page. Yes. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is the book, and there's a really good preface that we have here. I highlight some of the stuff that we were cooking with. Definitely check it out, and then I'll be getting to the, kind of. I think he's going to talk about the intro of what's going on here, and he talks about like the MVP trap, proven better, road mapping in your OS, bold bets, something about scale, landing on new planets, and so forth. So this is going to be really cool to see, and I'm going to keep reading this, and as I go through, day to day, I'm going to mark different chapters and kind of, come back with some of the sauce as well. So yeah, definitely check that out. I think so. My first mission is checking out some of this. Another app that I'm building right now is this thing called SayRay. And so what this is about is literally just around transcriptions, because this is a problem that I've been trying to solve locally for like my own self and my community. I have some friends in like their like elderly age, and they actually have been appreciating when I show them like a transcription of what's going on in a couple of ways, because one is that they can actually remember like what is being said. But the other part of it is like now this thing can also do interpretation. So when they're traveling and so forth, they can have a live interpreter, which is kind of crazy if you can think about it. So as I hit this, what's pretty much happening is in real time, this is just being transcribed. And it's all happening right on your Mac. This also happens on your phone. And for people who have a hard time seeing, a lot of times you could just kind of follow this here and it'll just show you in real time what's happening. If you want to scroll back up, you can reread what happened in the transcript. And this is really useful for real life conversations. This can also be used as a note. So you can go back to your saved notes and see, what has happened in the past and kind of read through it and replay things. Let's see. Happening is in real time. This is just being transcribed. So it's crazy. I have a clean version of the original one. And so all of this stuff is going on. You can also do like interpretation. So if you want to talk in Spanish, like for example, I think I have some bugs. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all?
No. ¿Me escuchan? ¿Me oyen siquiera?
Wow, this is really cool. I can't believe that I'm talking to you in
Vaya,
English.
esto es realmente genial. No puedo creer que les esté hablando en inglés.
Falo portugués. Falo portugués.
Estoy hablando portugués.
Whoa, yeah. So it'll take 70 different languages and translate them to the destination language. So if I wanted to speak in Japanese, service was invalidated. Okay, I gotta fix that. Okay. Hi, how are you doing?
これ直さなきゃ。よし。やあ、元気？
Hi, I can't eat stuff with gluten.
こんにちは。僕はグルテンの入ったものは食べられません。
I can't believe this works really well. I mean, can you believe this is
こ
that
れが
simple?
本当にうまくいくなんて信じられない。っていうか、これがそんなに簡単だなんて信じられる？
Wow, this is amazing. So you can see what I'm saying?
うわ、これはすごいね。で、言いたいことわかるでしょ？
This is really cool and it looks really great.
これは本当にすごいし、見た目も最高だ。
So here is a simple app that I've made. Every single person who's 55 and older that I've showing this has asked me, where can I download this in the App Store? I'm like, I just made this a couple of days ago, like last week. And they're like, great, just send me a text and I'll buy it. I'm like, is it really that easy? No, but like I think the demo is kind of what sells it because it's so fast and a lot of people haven't really seen this really fast. And there are people who've tried Google and the other apps, but maybe they're not as fast or whatever the experience may be. And so this is my opportunity to just put this in front of more people and get that out there and have a revenue stream, right? I don't know where the next thing is going to be taking off. I'll get more people to try it out. That audience expands. Those people will tell more people they want more features. I'll build on them and I'll make maybe version 2, right? So I don't know where this is going, but I know that I'm headed in a lot of different directions, in playing with transcriptions. I also have been, as a person who does live streaming, I have a lot of different needs as well. So I'm going to try to build some tools around that I need for myself, but maybe I can sell them back to other people who need those tools and don't want to spend all the tokens to get those things going. And in essence, it may turn into a bigger platform that as a solo person I can run, where previously you'd have to have like 10 different engineers running and doing everything. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity here, and I have no clue where it's going to be, but I feel like as long as I'm putting myself out there, I think this is what's going to happen with our journey for growth. So I don't know. I think this would be billion is the new million. I really feel like this is kind of where we're at right now. So this is awesome. Was contemplating making a picture OCR app for elderly people who want to read larger text. This is it. This is it. It's really simple how simple this stuff can be. And you'll be really surprised. I may have to take her to put her outside. Do you want to go outside? She's going to want to jump in the pool. I'm going to put her outside real quick. Awesome. Yeah. So that was it. I had to put a little doggy outside, make sure everything's okay. So try the silly ideas. Even if you can build it in one prompt, don't listen to what other people are saying. Oh my God, I just rebuilt your app in 2 prompts. You're like, okay, that's cool. That's cute. Just keep doing you. I feel like don't get discouraged by other people who try to put you down saying, oh, so who are you going to sell it to? Who are your ventures? Like, I feel like there's also a lot of this in San Francisco. When I go to San Francisco, they're just like, hi, what's your name? What are you doing? Okay. What are you building? Okay. Who's backed you? Okay. Oh. And then they just literally will turn around and stop talking to you when you don't say like you're backed by anyone, you don't have a VC. They're just like looking to climb. It feels like Hollywood in a funny way. Not everyone's like that, but there are some folks who are literally just trying to figure out like, who are you, where are you, or whatever. And then if like you say, oh yeah, I funded these companies, or I was like people like to brag. They're like, oh, I was the first investor in this or something, or I invested in X company. It's like, oh God, like I really don't care. I just care about who you are as a human. Like, what are you doing in this world? Like, what do you want to do? What's your dreams? What's your passion? What lights you up? What are you about? Like, I feel like that's missing. And this is kind of why I love being in Hawaii too. It's like being back and forth between Hawaii and the Bay Area really gets me out of my bubble. And I could see what people are really struggling with here in terms of like just day-to-day problems for things that I can help out with, right? My canoe club needs an app. It's really simple. Like I could prompt it now and I built it, right? And you could take a picture of your ID and do all these things and grab information from it and fill out your forms and stuff that like sounds crazy, but just start doing it, just put it in front of people. And I didn't grow up in a business-minded family, and I'm not letting that stop me, right? So I'm evolving as a human. I'm evolving mentally. I'm putting this out there. I know this is capable. Like this is definitely something we can do. And I'm reading books and being around people. I'm going to be reaching out to more people. My goal is maybe after I read his book with Mark and kind of digest some of these concepts, start applying them in real life, would be fire to do an interview with him in real life in San Francisco or just on the podcast here or something like that, so that we can start asking him questions as a community too, right? We've applied these principles and then we can share back our own experience to him, because now he gets more grounding for people like us who are actually applying this in real life and kind of seeing where we're seeing, right? So that's how you build relationships, and they're really important. My goal is also to throw like live events and get other people who are on the same wavelength, maybe already several steps ahead of us, right? They already launched that SaaS. They pivoted 3 times and they figured out, okay, this is a venue that no one's really looking at. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. So that's what's up. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what's up. Day 1 or 1 day? Bro, this is day 1. This isn't really like, did you read the text, bro? Did you read the title? Yeah, I think when you say 1 day, mentally, you say that it's not going to happen, and you don't take the urgency or steps you need because you keep delaying, and you basically keep that carrot in front of you. Where if you say day 1, you are now more intentful in terms of like where you're setting your standards, where the bar is, and you just are almost like, this has already happened and this is an event we're just looking back on, which is kind of crazy. You got to burn 1 billion tokens a day to make that billion. Yeah, no, bro. I think There are going to be stuff where you don't burn tokens, right? Like literally just a day walking and planning could help be 0 tokens burned, but you're burning the brain cells, right? No, you're activating a lot of brain cells. You're actually talking to people in real life. You're trying to show them demos and, do these types of problems. And that's kind of where we're at with this. So, yeah. Joao Fernandez, 9458. Cool. Yeah, I guess you can't put the little squiggly over your thing, right? Is that, I think, how I'm saying it right? Yeah. Day one, let's go. So I think, yeah, that's where we're at. I feel like we're right at this moment in time in history where we're now able to do this as a collective humans, and we're able to leverage this technology that people from like the 40s and 50s, 60s and 70s totally dreamed of having, and we could do it right now. Like, this is crazy. The fact that I can no longer spend like an entire day just writing Swift code to have it build up a couple different panes and do different things, and now I could just prompt it /goal in Codex and walk away, is a big unlock. And I think most people still haven't really seen that yet. And when my brother is talking to other people and I see other people talking about this here, especially in Hawaii, I then get a sense like, okay, Silicon Valley is kind of a bubble. Even us watching on YouTube are kind of in our own bubble too. But like the masses haven't really seen this yet. And we can do something about this. We can start to bring our own strength, bring our own humanity into these problems and kind of really, push that through. So I'm excited about the way that we can use strong models to build hardware. That's another big unlock. Yeah. This is where I'm camping. Yeah. Dude, let me know what you're building. If you haven't had a chance, check out the free community right now. Start My AI. rfer.me/startmyai. That's the free community that we're building right now in school. I have a bunch of resources. Other folks who are on the same wavelength are going to be building there with us as well. Also check out, if you haven't had a chance, The Long Game. This is the thing I'm doing with my brother, because one of my ideas is around health and helping my brother, because I've already built this amazing health dashboard for him. And I want to get this type of dashboard out for other people to help them in their weight loss journey. So in the about week plus that we've been here in Hawaii, he's already down 6 pounds, under 400 pounds, which is amazing, a huge accomplishment for someone of his size. And, he's already recognized he's going to be a different person. And as brothers, I got to help him out, right? So I can't let this happen. And, it's not that like it's a willpower game. It's more of like, there's a information game, and there's like the AI is really helping because he's now just, taking pictures of food and doing things, and stuff just gets uploaded to the dashboard. And so we'll talk more about that. And we have a whole dedicated channel that we're going to talk more about like the mental side of things and other health related aspects. So if you haven't had a chance, definitely go ahead and check out The Long Game Bros. That's us. Because this is just not going to be like a sprint. This is just going to be a lifestyle. So the lifestyle means this is just, it's already happening. So apart with, you can have all the wealth in the world, but if you don't have good health, then you're kind of, what do you do with all this money? So you got to have both, right? So you got to play the long game. And part of that thing is just like, once you have this discipline here that you develop with your health, it spills into other aspects of your life, including business. So that's why we're really excited about this. So, everyone who's going to watch this stream and be on this journey, you're all going to be buff. You're going to be looking amazing. You're going to live to like 100. You're going to just have like crazy abundance. So I don't see there's no reason why we shouldn't. You know what I mean? I find it mad that 500K people use the limit reset feature in that 2-hour window. Don't be mad, bro. This is where it's at right now. My screen time is only current terminal agents in my apps. Let's go. Bro, let's figure out how to get some of that stuff in the cloud so you can just go for a walk, get your mind refreshed. That's also very helpful too. And go talk to customers, right? Go talk to people. Yeah, you don't need to sit there and babysit. Just let them cook and do something else. That's actually my favorite feature right now, cloud, all the cloud stuff. So also shout outs to people who vibe coding C++ because that's rough right now. Let's go. Glad I joined this session. I started mine about 5 days ago, and I'm amazed at what I built, still building. The barrier is only truly lowered. Anyone can become a business owner in no time. Yeah, this is the journey we're on. It's going to be like sharing resources. I'd like to get my education up as well. And I think it's the only way I've been able to learn. I learn in real time. I learn by doing. I learn by being around other people who are successful. I learn about people who have been there. I read their books. I try to get as much information as possible. I try to meet them up in person. Do everything I can to really level up as well. So I'm going to get some weights in the bench out the basement, bro. That's what's up. That's what's up. Get it out. Let's go ahead and cook, man, because this is the best way to do it. Like get the weights up, get your nutrition game on point. Check out the long game bros. That's us. We're gonna have that whole thing spinning up. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, and not only do I want to see you grow and be successful in wealth, but also health and everything else around it. So this is what it's up. I'm doing with my family and my brother. So yeah, that's what's up. All right, y'all. I think I'll catch you probably tomorrow or the next day. Catch me in the Start My AI community, rfer.me/startmyai. That school community is free. And you can join in, start talking with other people, start getting your feet wet. Then we're going to also do some building on stream because I want to see if I can build this idea out. Also my goal is to also get this to the App Store because I need to get this to the App Store ASAP. People are already asking me. People want to pay me money. I'm getting in my own way, so I can't be doing that. I got to get this out to the App Store. V1, I don't care. Like it already works. Get it out the App Store. There are a couple of things like I need to unblock myself on, but that'll be really cool. And yeah, also, if you want to see a product that I've already made, I made a product called Ray Transcribes. And so this is kind of where, I like when I first made this, I needed it as a content creator to transcribe things. So I can get my live streams and transcribe them, and it's really, really crazy fast, like insanely fast. But it also generates timestamps. That's why you see timestamps at the end of every video. And you can even edit the actual, like transcript if you needed to, or change the timestamps as well. It'll save in different versions. It has a dictionary as well built in, and you can, that's all stuff in Ray Transcribes. So I've been doing this. I have a rewrite that I'm going to rewrite the whole thing where it has a command line interface. So you may see me shipping this on stream. I'm realizing that transcriptions have been, it's really funny because people can vibe code this like in one shot, but there's a lot more detail that happens when you start to turn it into a product. Like for example, when you're charging people money, do they get onboarded correctly? Once they get onboarded, are they able to like pay money and then everything activates correctly at all the different tiers? Keeping everything is like super fast as well, right? So, I can select a file for my transcripts and like get this one here. It's like, I don't know, how long is this? 4 hours. I could do a 4-hour transcript in like probably like less than 5 minutes or something like that. It's crazy fast. So here we go. Like GPT. This one's 3 hours, So yeah, if I upload this thing right now, a 3-hour transcript, we'll see how fast this is. So it's going to do some processing first. And so we kicked it off. It's a minute 57. So probably by the next 3 minutes, this 3-hour transcript will be, or this 3-hour video will be all transcribed and ready to go. And I remember building this when I first started my live streams like 2 to 3 years ago. And that's when I figured out the power of these models. And I hadn't really like expanded the feature set until much, much more recently. And I realized that there's even more potential now because people have OpenClaws and the other agents where they need really good transcripts and accurate stuff. And especially stuff like around dictionaries and other things. So that rewrite for the CLI is actually coming soon. It's already sort of done and prepared. I'm just doing some finalized testing to make sure that comes up. So yeah, it's only been like about a minute and we're still processing. It's a 3-hour live stream. But once it processes, the transcripts will come out super fast, and it'll also incorporate some of the dictionary stuff as well. And so that's kind of what, does this thing. So yeah, I wrote this thing. I used Next.js for the front end, Convex for the back end. I think I deployed this on Vercel, and it's super fast and hooked up with Stripe payments. So people who sign up on Ray Transcribes. So here's like the landing page, raytranscribes.com. So this is the landing page here. And so this is kind of like my proposition. This is like the first version that I had set up. And the other people, are able to use this here. And you could tell this is GPTified. But yeah, there's like a lot of people who have used this thing. And, right now I just charge $10 a month for the starter, $20 a month if you're a creator. I'm probably just going to go down to one price in the future here. So here we are. The transcription is being prepared. And then after that, yeah, so 159. So it's only been a couple of minutes. We're about to hit minute 3, and we'll have a 3-hour transcript, a 3-hour video, like almost 17 gigs, completely transcribed end to end and like really highly accurate. So yeah, that's a service I created. And I feel like part of the reason why I started to do the stuff with transcripts with the phone is because I was just showing people like, I was trying to rewrite this for an iOS app. And I sort of accidentally created something that is a spin-off product off of this. And I feel like this is kind of where, we're headed with this whole thing. So here at exactly like 3 minutes, because it's now 2 o'clock. We have the whole transcript completely set up here, all of that. We have all of the timestamps that are currently generating right now. And if we want to like edit the transcript, you can go in here and you'll see like this whole thing, let's see, 3 hours and 2 minutes. The whole thing's transcribed. Like it just took like, that long. So it wasn't even that long. You can go to other transcripts and get the timestamps too. So yeah, insane, absolutely insane. And it's possible that I'll use one of these products to build it out a little bit further. I don't know exactly what happened, but I see what happened. My screen just got zoomed in. My bad. Yeah, let me go back. Okay, so that's that guy. Ray Transcribes. Pretty fun. So let's see what else is going on. It's gangsta, right? Dude, AI unlocked Whisper CLI for me so far. Exactly. Can't DM on Twitter because I'm not verified. Open your DMs. I only open it to folks who are verified because I get so much spam. Like I'm not going to open them up. So the only way to get in contact with me is probably through the free school community. And yeah, I'll just kind of check that out. Holy Zoom Batman. I know. I'm so sorry. Time to blast some tokens. Oh, Jason, you're just waking up in Japan, right? I was just demoing the transcription app and it's pretty cool. Yeah, learnings too. Also, thanks for the book recommendation. Keep them coming. We're going to be doing that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Now, I appreciate everyone on the community. So you haven't had a chance, send a note. I will see you guys tomorrow or later in the week as well. A lot of stuff's going on and there's just so much change that's happening. And I'm just going to keep updating you on the journey here. The goal is literally $1 billion. And there's no reason why we can't. That's kind of where I'm at. And if you're not at that place in your life, take some time to think through like why are you holding yourself back? There's a whole mental game to this that you kind of have to get into. And you don't have to have like every single thing mapped out perfectly because that's actually never going to happen. All you have to do is kind of anchor to something big, figure out what's in front of you at that present time and try to build to the next thing. Try to build for the next thing. Put yourself out there, be around the people who are doing the things, build for that, just keep going. Like action. Before I close out, I want to kind of like leave you with a story that it's really kind of inspired me on why I think we're going to do this. And it's not why, but it's like one of the many reasons, it's not the single reason. So there's this story, I think Alex Hormozy was saying in one of these podcasts where there's this teacher who gave their students, they said like in order for you to pass the class, you either have to do one of two assignments. One of the assignments is that you have to make a pot. A clay pot. And if you make the clay pot and it's like the best clay pot, like the most perfect thing, then you pass. Or the other challenge is if you make the most amount of clay pots, you also can pass the class. So whoever has the most, passes the classes or whatever. And the others, if you make the most perfect one, so you can either choose whatever your destiny is, but you have a whole semester, go. So it turned out the folks who actually focused on making the perfect clay pot, you would think that those are the ones who actually were the ones who were able to pass a class. But they did not have the same quality of pot like the ones who actually spent the time to make lots of pots, like a whole bunch of them. Like they basically made a factory of making these types of clay pots and they made like crazy amounts. And so what ended up happening was that the teacher realized that the people who spent the volume basically making one, learning from a mistake, making the next one, learning from the mistake, end up actually continuing to iterate a lot faster because they were able to make so many and kind of throw them out. And this is what's inspiring me for this journey, because this apps and building this way with AI is kind of the same way. By sheer volume of putting stuff into the market, trying the next thing, putting stuff in the market, trying to learn from things, talking to people, like this whole action thing is going to make things just like me turn into a machine so that I can have like a really high quality bar. And it's just going to be like, there's no mistake why, that next thing that hit was because of all the other lessons that happened before. Right. So I've made it this far without, a degree. And that's like, doesn't even need to be a part of my identity anymore. like even being an engineer doesn't even have to be part of my identity. It's just, I know that I want this, I'm moving in this direction, and I'm going to keep iterating and doing just volume. So as long as I keep showing up and keep iterating, keep learning and keep doing, that's going to be the volume that I need, as far as then just waiting back and not doing anything and reading every single book and thinking that I'm doing something. It's like, no, I'm just going to bias towards action every single day. Just bias towards action. What did I learn? What do I need to learn? What's next? What do I need to learn? What's next? What did I learn? What did I need to learn? What's next? And for me, it's like, I need to get my app, SayRay, onto the App Store as fast as possible. So what's stopping me from getting there? Finishing up the Revenue Cat account so that I can get this linked up. I already have the App Store stuff set up with my LLC, so that's really good. And then I need to check, the last part is AI proxy, and whether I can have custom code or I have to write my own proxy so that I can have my key up there so that people can use this and I can charge them a fee, so that they can use it without having to put an API key, because most people won't have API keys in their 60s. I just need to have them like, here's a service, go use it. Don't worry about API keys. This is ready to go for you. So that'll be that. I think that's the only thing slowing me down for this app. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to try to get some of that stuff configured and looked into. And then the next live stream, you'll see me building it or shipping it live or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now with this current journey and where I'm heading next. So yeah, stay tuned. This is going to be really insane for everything. I feel like that's what's up. Yeah. Quantity is quality, right? It's a crazy story. Yeah. It's such a crazy story. Yeah. Already 40% left on the Codex. Bro, bacon overflow. You are literally cooking the bacon, bro. You're so cooking the bacon. Range from size built in Xcode? Yeah, no, I'm building one on Xcode. Yeah. 5.6 lags. Yeah. It's pretty good. I'll be testing SayRay with Japanese and Indonesian. I'm excited for you to test it out, Jason. Yeah. If you're in the school community, I will put up a link for a test flight once I get that going too, so folks can try it out. Yeah, that's what's up. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So much good sauce. And look how beautiful it is outside. All right. I'm excited to hit the beach, and I'm excited to kind of get this stuff unblocked so that we can get going to the next step, because I want to get SayRay on the App Store. Not only SayRay, I also want to get the Canoe Club app on the App Store. I also have the, Ray Transcribes, the CLI stuff that I need to ship as well to get that on the apps, not on the App Store, but just on my web app version. So that'll be the web stuff. And then if people really want SayRay as a web app, I'll be able to easily get that into a web form as well. So a lot of stuff that's really moving right now. And so I think this channel, I'm going to be focused on building. You'll see some of that building. You'll see all that stuff here. The long game stuff with my brother, that'll be the health focused thing. So anything on like food, cooking, nutrition recipes, how to do that journey and what we're doing there. Yeah, because it's going to be insane. I'm so excited because everyone's going to look so much different after this whole stream. That's what's up. That's what's up. So yeah, give yourself a round of applause, and I'll see you guys in the next stream, y'all. Peace out. Mahalo. I'll see you on the islands. Peace.